All right, guys, welcome to the Tim Lauer Show. We are coming to you live from Island Time Studios, and we got some special guests here today. Tera McMeans with Design, Print, Promote, as well as Millie. What's your last name, Millie?
Snow.
Millie Snow. Okay, a young entrepreneur that's in the Gulf Shores area, and we're going to be discussing the program EPIC today. So, thank you, ladies, for joining us.
Thank you.
Awesome. Tera, what does EPIC stand for?
So EPIC is Entrepreneur Program Impacting Communities, and it is a brand new student business program brought to you in collaboration by the South Baldwin Chamber Foundation and the Coastal Alabama Business Chamber, along with many businesses and volunteers like ourselves.
Yes, awesome. Where did the idea from EPIC stem from?
So we live in a community of small business owners, as you know, as we both know. So it's really important for us to be able to act as leaders to mentor the next generation. We've had some entrepreneur programs for students in the past, and in our research, we have noticed that whether you're in South Baldwin County from, Alberta to Gulf Shores and Orange Beach and Foley and everywhere in between, the different schools have different levels of programs, and not all students are being taught on a level playing field. So both chambers of commerce, who focus on business, wanted to bring this program so that our students could kind of be on a level playing field for those interested in learning about what we do so that they can do it themselves as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Tell us about the committee. How's that going?
Yeah, so the committee. So you and I were both on the South Baldwin Chamber Foundation, and we're looking for ways to get involved and build these programs. So we started this committee a little over a year ago. We've been working on this program, and we are a committee of business leaders in the community. So whether you're on the foundation or you're a business leader, then we are just developing this program. We're a very small group. I would say our committee has probably about less than 10 people on it. Yeah, it's a really small group. But we are in the push right now where we're trying to invite more people into the program. And so that's where we're at right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Millie is not only on the committee, but she's also a young entrepreneur. Tell us about yourself and your business.
So I got into the program of the Young Entrepreneurs through the South Baldwin Chamber in 2016?
Yes,
I was 13, and I'll be 18 this year. So in the Young Entrepreneurs Academy classes, you have to create a business plan, a PowerPoint, and present it in front of a panel of investors, and it's a 21-week program. And after the program, you get to sit on this panel, and they get to decide who they want to give their money to, if they want to divvy it all up. And so I won the program for the South Baldwin area. And
congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I flew to New York to compete nationally for a college scholarship to RIT. And came back home, and now I have 5 vending machines that vend hair ties. That's what I do, tie up hair ties in my company. And I love it, and it brings me so much joy. And it's so fun, and I love getting to work with Tera and all this new, cool, exciting stuff. So, yeah, it's awesome.
So when I first met Millie, she was in 6th grade at Gulf Shores Middle School. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you're now a junior.
Yep.
And she's still in business, and she's definitely a success story for our area. And I remember my son, who also owns his own business, he got to sit on that investors panel when he was, he was maybe in 10th grade when he got to sit on it and help decide where the money got to go, and he recognized immediately how good of a candidate you would be to represent our area. And I'm so proud of you that you're still in business today, and you've got a great family of support too.
Oh, yes.
That's huge. So how impactful was it for a young student like yourself to go through a program like an entrepreneurship program?
Well, I've grown up with a family of entrepreneurs. My mom's a jeweler. She has owned Blue Girl Beading Company for 19 years.
Wow.
And she just recently, in the past 3 years, has bought another business. And so I've kind of grown up around entrepreneurship. And my dad's a photographer. He owns his own photography business. So getting to go through that program was actually really helpful for me. But a lot of the stuff I feel like I knew already because my parents had taught it to me, but knowing more and gaining more knowledge on it was definitely helped me down the road because all businesses grow, Yeah. So you just need all that knowledge.
Coming up through school and knowing what you know from your parents, how much of that was missing in the regular curriculum that was added on in that entrepreneurship program?
From school?
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot.
So much. We just recently, in the Gulf Shore school system, got a class called business management or business marketing, I think, something along those lines. And it is so important for people to know that because, you know, most of the class is about like real life skills, how to write a check, how to balance a checkbook, things like that. But the other half of it is how to create a business. And we did have Young Entrepreneurs Academy in the school, but then they took it away, so then we had to do it through Foley. It was just a whole thing. But it definitely should have stayed, I feel.
Well, it's back.
You know?
It's back.
I know.
It's back.
And it's going to be epic.
Yeah,
So
it is.
excited.
And so Millie is going to be a senior next year. So rather than being in the program, since she already has an established business, she's going to give us that student perspective. She's going to help the students from her perspective and continue to mentor and kind of teach them some of the things that she's learned and are still learning, right? Because you're probably doing different things now than you were doing back when you were in 6th grade and started your business. So
yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit more about Epic.
Yeah.
What are some of the goals?
So the main goal is to be able to introduce these business skills to students that are interested in it. And if you would like to start a business and you're in grades 7 through 12 and you're in the South Baldwin area, so Alberta, Foley, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, middle and high school students, our goal is to teach you these skills. And if you want to start a business, we will pair you up with a mentor. And that mentor can kind of guide you and help you and be there to assist you as you go through the steps. We already have a great group of students that are already doing this. And so maybe there's a student out there or a parent that is hearing this right now and saying, oh my gosh, I would love for my student to be a part of it. So this is sort of a way to pair your student up with people in the community like us that are doing big things and want to help your student grow their business. And, that could be any business. I've met middle school kids that are cutting lawns. I've met middle school kids that want to have their own candle company. I know there's several people out there, whatever your passion is, videography, maybe a videography business or something like that. We're going to give them the tools and the knowledge to be able to do that on their own. And it's going to be backed by the resources of both of our local chambers of commerce. So we've got, 1,000 members in one chamber and close to 1,000 in the other chamber. And we're going to try to enable these students to have access to all those resources to help them be successful and grant them abilities that they might normally not have if they were trying to do it on their own.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I remember coming up through school and there was no kind of programs like this. I kind of had to learn going to chamber meetings and different things on my own. And I didn't end up starting a business until I was 35, but imagine if I had had a program like that back then. So I can't wait to see the impact it has on students, the local businesses, the local economy. I mean, and that's where the economy innovates so fast, is when people create their own business.
And you own several businesses, is that right?
Yeah,
and so I'm so glad that you're part of this program because I've been a business owner for, I think, 17-ish years now, and I am an artist, and I never had any business classes growing up, and so I had to learn a lot about owning my own business on my own, and to be able to have this resource in this community hopefully will just set them up for success. Of course, they might see some failures, learning opportunities, we can say, but that's normal, and we're going to tell them that. We're going to let them know that's totally normal. We're going to have a CEO roundtable. We're going to invite business leaders to kind of talk about their strengths and talk about times where it didn't go so well, and these students will have someone to look up to that they might think, they have their whole act together, but maybe it hasn't always been that way. So it's really going to be a great learning experience, and we're really excited to bring it to South Baldwin.
Great.
Yeah.
So what type of student is a great match for the program? Not only a student, but let's talk about what's a great student match, mentor match, and maybe a sponsor match.
Ooh, good question. So you, as a student, I'll let you answer the student part. What would be a good student, in your opinion, to go through this program?
Well, any student is a good student that wants to start a business, that wants to be involved, that wants the knowledge, but definitely, what's the word? I can't think of it now, but resilient.
Okay.
You want to be resilient. I think I have that character trait, maybe a little bit, but responsible. It's a lot of responsibility, a lot. I don't know.
Passionate.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, passionate about what it is that they're doing. So, if I had a student that was, let's say, at the lower end of the spectrum come up and say they wanted to start a certain type of business, but maybe it was not really attainable, right? Maybe start small. Start with something that you can actually attain, that you have the funding or could get the funding to do. Something that you could grow into maybe a larger role, but start small, for your age. Make sure it's realistic and that you don't set your goals too high to begin with because you want to be successful. So the students that participate in this program, we want them to have the interest, have the idea of what they want to do, and then, show up and be responsible as well.
Yeah, and if I can just add on to that real quick, in so many facets of life, like people go off to be basketball players or football players or sports, whatever it is. But there's so many spin-offs that people have in those businesses that you learn those entrepreneurship skills early. It teaches you to spin those businesses off a lot better. So it really is, like you said, for anybody out there, but really the ones that are passionate about it should definitely sign up.
Yeah, and in the Young Entrepreneurs program, they gave us this big pamphlet that was about, there was one that was like, if you already have an idea of starting a business, here's 100 questions you should answer. And if you don't have any idea what you want to do, here's another 100 questions you should answer to, like, what are you interested in? What do you like? What, are you artistic or creative? Do you think of these things of yourself? And I loved that because I was like, it gets you to know yourself a little bit, but also, like, gets you to help start a business that you're passionate about.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the second part of your question involving mentors is basically like, do you have a desire to help people in your community? Do you have knowledge of either, starting businesses, or maybe you've worked in businesses and you know the information, but maybe you haven't run your own business? So we're looking for adults mainly who have business knowledge that want to give back to their community. It is a volunteer position, and typically we're going to meet once a month at Coastal Alabama Community College, where we're going to have guest speakers, we're going to have the students, we're going to have the mentors, and if the sponsor wants to join us, they're welcome to. So that time commitment isn't going to be great, but if we do pair you up with the student, there may be opportunities outside of that once a month meeting where they might email you or text you or call you and need some input on what's going on in their business at the moment. So it's not a huge commitment. We do ask that our mentors pass a background check, and no real cost to that. I think it's like $25 or something like that. And, really just give back. And that's why we're doing this. I mean, none of us are paid to be here. We just want to help the next generation of business leaders in our community.
I think it's funny when you say the next generation, because I'm like so much younger than you guys.
But you've been doing this a long time.
Yes, I'm like, that's me. Like, it's me.
That is you. And for the follow-up on the third part of your question, sponsors, the main thing with sponsors is, just being able to donate some of your money. So maybe you don't have time to be a mentor, but you have a little bit extra money. And when we built this program, we wanted to make it affordable for anybody. And so sometimes sponsorship comes with a big price tag, and we didn't want to do that. We would much rather have a lot of small sponsors than necessarily the big corporate sponsors. So you can be a sponsor of Epic for as little as $50, and we have all the information on how you can be a sponsor, a mentor, a student, and applications are open for all three right now on our website, which if you would like to share that, we can talk about the website.
Absolutely.
Well, it's good. You got Tim involved in this. You got Millie. We've got several people. Yo Johnson with the small business development. We've got, don't let me forget anyone, Penny Huey, Kylie Rollerson, Ed Bouchard has joined us a few times. Don't let me forget anyone. Who else we got? We've got CSU involved. We've got Baldwin EMC involved. We've got some really great people, great sponsors that have already committed. Of course, Coastal Alabama is going to be our host sponsor, where all of our online curriculum will be held through their online systems, which is really convenient so that you can learn the content, whether you're in, the top of South Baldwin or down here on the beaches like we are. Of course, my business, Design, Print, Promote, lead charities, Caldwell Banker with Rich Caldwell. He's really into entrepreneurship, and Spangrid and Associates, Linda Spangrid and Tom. Those are our sponsors right now. Of course, we have lots more opportunities for people to get involved.
Great. And when we talk about the students, the mentors, and the sponsors, you're really investing, when you invest in these students in this program, you're really investing in the community. Absolutely. Because you're going to see it grow, you're going to see it stay healthy and vibrant, and you're investing in the future of this Baldwin County.
Absolutely. I mean, it makes you feel good. So when Millie was going through the program, my son went through the program. I was a volunteer of past entrepreneurship programs for over 6 years. And it just makes you feel really good to help them. And honestly, if we all could just do a little more of that, I think the world would be a better place. And I know that sounds corny, but it really does make you feel good.
Yeah, it does. Well said. All right, so take us through the website, Tara.
So this website is sbchamberfoundation.org, and the EPIC is the program. So when you click on that, it talks about student eligibility. We talked about that a little bit. Students in grades 7 through 12, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Alberta, and surrounding areas. The program overview basically talks about it being a year-long interactive educational program. We offer networking opportunities, grant resources for students that want to start their own business. We do teach them the fundamentals of starting a business, and we have one in-person meeting a month at Coastal. Enrollment is happening right now. I saw that Gulf Shores Schools shared the post on social today. We already have gotten our first application from a homeschool student.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so we are going to be trying to limit our enrollment to just around 20 people our first year, and being that it stretches from Alberta down to the beaches, that's a big area, so we do want to make sure that your students get their applications in as soon as they can before the deadline on June 30th, 2023. There will be a $35 application fee, and we're not posting that fee to make money off of the students, but there is a cost of using the software associated with Coastal Alabama College, and so that money will go into that fee of using that software, and so they'll be set up in the system just like a real student at Coastal, and we're really excited to be able to bring that technology to all of our students around South Baldwin County.
And I'll say, if anybody out there is having a struggle with that $35 fee, contact us and we can probably figure something out. So that's not an issue.
Yep.
Going down. All right, how can they become a sponsor?
Yeah, become a sponsor. So I actually have some information on sponsorship right here. And just a general overview, if you were to click on that link, it would take you through the Chambers On, which is how the South Baldwin Chamber actually fundraises. Because this is part of the South Baldwin Chamber Foundation, all of your sponsorship is tax deductible. So if you're looking for a good way to spend some of that corporate giving or small business donations, will definitely be your cause. So of course we have corporate sponsorships. Those are the high ones, $1,000. But it goes down $500, $250, $150, and then of course $50. And so it's really affordable at any level that you want to get involved as a monetary sponsor. Becoming a mentor, that's a quick Google form, super easy. We actually will not call on you to actually do the background check part until we know that there's a student that can use your services. So just put your name in the hat, and when we need you, we'll give you a call. Student CEO, that's real easy. You can fill out the online application there. Part of that is we do want a reference from your teacher. And so if you do fill out the Student CEO application, we'll make sure that you also have a teacher sign the student reference recommendation form right there as well.
Great. And you heard it here first, but we got our first mentor signed up this morning.
Woo! Yay! That's so exciting. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, we're really excited about that. We're just now making the push. We're going to be at your city council meetings. We're going to be in your schools. We're going to be at your community service organizations. You're going to hear about it, but we're going to hear about it here first on the 10 Hour Podcast.
That's right. That's right. That's usually how it works. So, all right. Anything else about the program we want to cover?
We've covered a whole lot about it.
We've covered all of it. If you got any questions on anything, how can they get in contact with us?
So for this podcast, maybe we can post the link, and that way you can take them directly to this website. We are sending most of the information to Kylie Rollerson at the South Baldwin Chamber Foundation, and her phone number is 251-943-5520. You can also reach her at executive director at sbchamberfoundation.org. It's all right there on the website. Kylie will feed that information to us as needed, depending on what area your questions are in. But we're really, really looking forward to this. And thank you so much for allowing us to be here today on this beautiful day.
Yeah. Epic weather today. Tera, thank you as well. You've really been a big driving force behind this program. I know you've had a lot of passion about it when the other program ended and wanted to start something new, and it's really been the catalyst that's helped push this thing forward. So I don't think we would be at this point if it had not been for your hard work and efforts and endless volunteer hours.
Thank you very much. We can't do it alone, and so if you want to be a part of this program, please help. If any of you all who are listening know me, you know that we've got a lot going on. This isn't the only gig we're doing. Tim volunteers for a lot of stuff. You see Tim everywhere. But we're taking the time because it's worth it to do it. So thank you.
I agree completely. Well, thank you very much, Tera. Thank you, Millie.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on today.
All right. It's a pleasure.